How to fight laziness or lack of motivation? Ooh, what a question. Okay, so laziness is coming from two places. And whether it's laziness, lack of motivation, procrastination, talked about this a lot. It's one of the common things that people keep asking, which makes sense because so many people struggle with it. You are not lazy. There's been times in your life when you were on fire, crazy motivated, working hard, doing your thing, felt like it was purposeful, and getting massive momentum. And there's been other times in your life where you haven't, where you felt sluggish, where the motivation isn't there, where it's hard to get up and do the thing. It might even be hard to get up and get out of bed. So there's two reasons why this is happening. And the advice that you need to take depends on what the reason is. So people often will give generic answers, which are not actually that helpful because you have to understand what the cause is, because the advice is completely opposite depending on which cause you're facing. So there's two causes, okay? The first is that you don't like the thing. You know, you don't want to be doing a thing. It's not interesting for you. You maybe used to like it. You started doing it because you thought you're going to make a lot of money doing it. You know, but you never actually liked it. You never loved the process of it. You don't want to do it, and you're not going to win ever doing work that you hate. You just won't, because you're going up against people who do love that thing, and so you're never going to win when you're competing with people who love it, and for you it's just a strategy, right? So if you don't love it, then you need to move on and go do something else. That's the advice, right? If that's the problem, it's like you look at it and you don't actually like this thing, and you've been trying to convince yourself to do it, go do something else that you actually are excited by, because love in the process is the #1 most common rule for success, period. So you have to love the process. Okay? So that's if you don't like it. The second reason why you might feel lazy, sluggish, lack of motivation, is because you do actually love it, but you're afraid of it. How does that make sense? Well, you're afraid. You're afraid that it's not going to work. You're afraid that people are going to judge you. You're afraid. You know, I get this all the time when I'm going to go speak on a stage. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I'm going to disappoint people. I'm afraid that I'm not going to give a good speech. I'm afraid that the message won't resonate with people. You know, I'm afraid. And so that can lead me to say no to things, and in the past led to me saying no to a lot of things, not because I didn't actually want to. I badly wanted to. I was just afraid. And so if the reason for you procrastinating or feeling lazy or lack of motivation is you're just afraid, you have to start to teach yourself that that's not a good enough reason. Not anymore. Because everything you want in life is on the other side of the things that you're most afraid of. So it's completely opposite advice, depending on what the problem is. If the problem is you don't love it, then you need to stop doing that thing as quickly as possible. If the problem is you're afraid, then you have to go do that thing as quickly as possible. Either way, the answer is action. The kind of action varies a lot depending on what the problem is.